And good morning. It is Thursday, June 24th, and welcome to another weekly real estate update. And yes, I said good morning. So if you tuned into this later, Jaden and I thought, yeah, let's change it up a little bit, right, Jaden?
That's right. Yeah, no, you gotta keep the rest of the day open. You've been so busy. Take a little bit of a break after this, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a scheduling conflict for today at 5. So thanks for joining us if you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're watching later. So, Jaden, another interesting week. We say that every week, but I think the big question always is what's happening. Is the market still as hot? And we're going to show you some stats now that will hopefully help you decipher on your own with some help from us. What is going on in the market? So we're going to take a look at our weekly stats. I'm going to show you June to date as well. So when we look at our new listings for the week of June 17th to 24, we had 482 detached new listings with 408 sold. I've had all my coffee for the day. I don't know what's going on. 195 pending. So our sold plus pending is 603. And what I believe is an important number, that net difference, we're still plus 121. So what dropped off, because I do the last 5 weeks essentially, is a number that was right around 206 about 6 weeks ago. So we are seeing it kind of level off here in the 100s to 120, 140 in those ranges. What's been very inconsistent is our amount of new listings. So we, 5 weeks ago we were at 539, then a big jump to 602 at the beginning of the month, then 570, then jumped up to 584, and a big decrease this week down to 482. So that obviously helps in our net difference because our sales have not been this low. Gosh, I would have to go back probably to January without, that's just a guess. So sales are definitely the lowest they've been, but listings have also decreased, which is normal for this time of year in a non-pandemic year. And again, we've talked about this many times, how last year was so different. And our total detached listings now sit at 3,038, which again, not a huge bump up from last week, only 30 more, because we had almost 100 less or 102 less listings come on the market. And our total listings are at 66, 67, which is only, again, a bump up of about 40 or 50 from the week prior. So we're seeing that leveling off of listings coming on the market, which is normal, again, in Calgary for this time of year, Calgary and surrounding areas. So the next thing I wanted to show you is June, kind of month to date here. So let's just grab this other file. Oh, now it's not even able to share that. Dang it. All right. Well, let me see if we can pull this up, do it this way. All right, so you're seeing the full daily housing summary on the Calgary Real Estate Board site that we obviously have access to as realtors. So here you can see detached listings, and this you'll see May 19, May 20, May 2021. But let's shift over to the right side of the column here. So when you see total sales of 1425 June month to date, that's an increase of 67.8% over 2 years ago. So let's wipe out last year, okay? And this is what the real estate board has been doing, because last year statistically is an anomaly. So let's compare it to 2 years ago. So we're still miles ahead of where we were 2 years ago. New listings up 35%, but active listings are down 20% compared to 2 years ago. Our pendings are up big time. You can see that right here. I'll try and highlight that with my mouse at 286% up from 2 years ago. And then our days on market is at 27 compared to 49 2 years ago, 50 last year, but 49 2 years ago. So we're selling in, just under half the time that we were 2 years ago. So, is the market still hot? It is starting to tail off, in my opinion, which is normal for this time of year. But compared to 2 years ago, it's still smoking hot. So it really depends on what your comparison point is, right? It's just like interest rates. Are interest rates still great? Yes. Are they starting to maybe go up a little bit? And Jaden will talk about that, but it's all relative to what you're comparing it to. So are we tailing off a little bit compared to earlier 2 months ago? Yes. But compared to 2 years ago, we're on fire. And I'll give you a couple of examples. So I'm going to stop that screen share now. And so I have two listings, one of which 2 months ago would have sold in a day. We're priced right. I know we're priced right. It's a great house. And 2 months ago, that thing, we would have had a lineup out the door. It's just different now, right? We've had showings, but we're just not getting the offer. And so for me, it's a matter of giving context to my clients, because all they see is what the news media says, which is the market is still crazy. It's just not as crazy as it was a month ago, 2 months ago in particular. So Jaden, that's it for me. What's going on in your world? I talked about interest rates. I didn't mean to step on your toes, but what are we seeing on that side of the game?
No, and it's a bit of a holding pattern, right? And I think I'm seeing, just kind of anecdotally similar to what you are. It's the stampede slowdown, right? We see
Yep.
coming into early July every year in our area, it just that tends to peter out, and then second half of July things tend to take back off again, right? So
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
feeling that. But yeah, interest rates continue to be what they are. They're phenomenal and fantastic, and low twos on a 5 year, and just a little bit below that too if you're doing a quick close, so closing within 60 days. Fantastic variables. Everybody knows I'm a huge proponent of variable for penalty certainty. And the discounts right now, we're seeing 1.25%, so prime minus 1.2 on a 5 year variable. We are seeing prime minus 1.46 on a 3 year variable, 0.99%.
Wow.
Right? It's crazy.
Wow.
So I think the discounts are just phenomenal. One of the things I want to touch on today is that people get into a little bit of this rate mania, and hear from all of a sudden, maybe their bank that they're with is reaching out and saying like, listen, we can lock you into this great amazing rate. It's time to do
Yeah.
that now. And I have a client that I was working with right now that was looking to buy a place and wanted to keep her current place, and said, I had to lock in. I have this great variable rate at 2.45%. And I said, what? Like that is not a great
No.
variable rate, right? And so even as a fixed rate, that's probably a half point out of market right now. And she signed back in May, so it's probably 3/4 of a point out of market. So I think it's important when you have people reaching out to you telling you that this great rate, this great product, let's lock you in for another 5 years. This woman had just always gone through her bank, and it was just the way she had done things. And her friend said to her, "Why the heck aren't you working with a broker?" And so this new purchase, she was looking to work with a broker. I wish we would have touched base 3 months ago, because I could have locked her into a far superior product, or at least talked about the positives and benefits of moving over to this different product, right? So I think that's the important thing. Don't get locked in thinking that you're getting a fantastic rate because it's better than the rate you signed 3 years ago. Might not be the case. Look out to what the market is today, and have a chat with somebody who give you several different options.
Yeah, exactly. On that variable note, and I'm not sure if you have this available, is there some sort of calculator for your clients to say, okay, well, if I'm at I'm at 0.95 on a 3 year variable, and the interest rate in 2 year, and by the end of my term, let's say it goes up, I don't know, let's say it's up at 2% or 3%. Is there some sort of way for your clients to know, yeah, I'm still good to be in a variable because of this calculation?
Yeah, so I have an Excel that I generally speaking work through, that I'll say, like, let's say that things go up a quarter point after year two, and then they go up 3/4 of a point after year three, and that's what it stays at throughout the 5. Yeah, I can definitely help people go through that. And we're always saying this is high level. We don't know what to expect from here.
Sure.
But yeah, exactly. Like, let's look at your savings through this. And one of the things that we really like to do with variables. So if you were planning on getting a 5 year fix, which is 2.04%, let's take that variable rate now and see the effect of paying the monthly 2.04%, because you can
Mm,
prepay some of your mortgage as well. So take that variable, bump it up, and maybe you only get a year of that super low variable rate, and maybe you only get
yeah.
2 years of it being less than the fixed rate. But in that time, you can hit on your mortgage so hard that you're well ahead of the game by the time rates have gone up, right?
That is a great idea, and that is something. With all due respect to banks, I'm not sure they're telling you that because they make money by charging higher interest, right? And there's some great bank options if you're a bank person. That's great, but that's why talking to Jaden is such a great idea, and that's why I say talk to Jaden every week.
That's right. Yeah, because for
Awesome.
some people, a 5-year fix is the thing to do.
Yep.
For other people, it's probably not the best option for you. But that's what 90% of people are going to sell to you, is the 5-year fix.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great stuff, Jaden. Again, reach out to him with any mortgage questions. If you want to know what's happening in the market in your community, please reach out to me. I had somebody do that this morning, and we're going to do a home evaluation next week just to kind of see where the market's at. Again, this is your biggest investment, or at least one of them, and you should know how that is doing. So, absolutely, I do free market evaluations because you want to know how your investment is faring in today's market. So with that, Jaden, you enjoy your weekend, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks for watching,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.